14 podcast. We are back after a well-needed, 3 days off? I guess 3 days off. Podcasting's not easy.
We didn't even take a break. We're on normal schedule again.
Yeah, we're on normal schedule. Podcasting not for everyone. Not for everyone. But we got a little treat for you guys coming up here a little later. Ryan Burr, the Burster, coming on the podcast. Avery, how you feeling, man? How was Orlando?
Hot.
Orlando.
Yeah, Four Seasons Orlando. It was hot. It was nice for a little break. See all my buddies. One of our buddies is heading to England. He's gonna move there next month, and one of our buddies is done playing pro hockey. So it was a nice little
soccer.
Yeah, nice little celebration for the boys. Best way to get together, play some golf. So great excuse. Happy to be back. Happy for baseball season. Sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, like I can't wait to watch the Blue Jays again. And then
I wouldn't go that far.
No, that's what I was thinking. Like it's been 3 days. It's like, oh, I would like to watch a Blue Jays game again.
Yeah, it is good to just have something on. Like right now, we have nothing on TV. Like I mean, WNBA. I mean, we have MLS tonight, but I mean, I'm not gonna pretend.
I'm not tuning into either of those.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's good. But we had an All-Star break. We definitely had an All-Star break. We had an All-Star home game, home run derby. Let's address the elephant in the room. Congratulations to Teoscar Hernandez for winning the home run derby. You called it
the most obvious winner of all time. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We said it together. I know I said it for the video.
No, you said it first. You said it first. Yeah.
But we did it together. Had to have known it was going to be an insufferable day on Twitter if you were on Twitter, and it was everything and more. Just holy
insufferable would be understatement for how Twitter was, because I don't think Toronto Blue Jays fans fathom this or comprehend this. Teoscar Hernandez was not traded to the LA Dodgers.
No, he was not, okay? Johnny.
He was traded to the Mariners. So the people blaming Ross Atkins for this, you could blame Ross Atkins. Blame Ross Atkins for not signing him this offseason. Blame Ross Atkins for not fixing the production that Teo had over the last 2 seasons. Stop blaming it on the trade, because he had every right to re-sign the guy this offseason. The Jays, let me say it again. The Jays did not trade Teoscar Hernandez to the Dodgers. He signed there. Ross Atkins did not sign him. Stop blaming the trade.
Such a good point. It is. They talked to him as well. They couldn't get a deal done. They talked to him free agency. I don't think they got to. He wanted more years. He ended up signing for 1. I'm pretty sure.
2. I'm pretty sure it's 2 with an opt out after 1.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I just know the Jays didn't want to give him term, and so he went somewhere else. And that's where we're at this point too. Like it's over. It's same with.
Oh, you're right. 1 year, $24 million.
Yeah. I mean, he's making every penny so far this season.
Yeah, he's worth it. But I
didn't even get to watch the home run derby. We were out doing other stuff. Did you like the new format?
No, I don't like how it's 40 swings or 3 minutes. I just bring back the 10 outs, man. Honestly, just bring back
outs. Took forever. That was the problem.
Yeah, but okay, what do you do? 7 outs?
No,
maybe
make it. You don't want to make it, like 10's a better number than 7.
Yeah, that's true. 5.
That's too little, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know, man. It was just such an insufferable day on Twitter. Like, why can't we just be happy for Teoscar Hernandez instead of blaming and throwing Swanee into this shit? Like, you could say, oh, Johnny's saying this because Swanee's your guy. Swanee's your guy. Last year, the Toronto Blue Jays would 1,000,000% have not made the playoffs if it wasn't for Eric Swanson. He led the team in innings pitched, had the lowest whip, and had a 2.94 ERA. The Jays traded Teo, who was on an expiring contract for that, the year after their bullpen blew a 7-1 lead in the playoff spot. I'm not going to get mad about that trade. What I'm going to get mad about, let me say this again, is Ross Atkins not replacing the production of Teoscar Hernandez or bringing him back this year when he wanted to come back. That is what I'm going to get mad at. That is what I'm going to get mad at.
Don't think anyone's gonna tell you you're wrong, Johnny.
Well, Avery, I had to mute the tweet.
Yeah, Twitter's not a real place.
Yeah,
you know that. We've gotten to this point now that you should just mute all your conversations. Honestly,
yeah,
it just gets that bad. Other than that, the All-Star weekend, the jerseys stunk out loud.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we'd fix that on last week's episode as well. And then Manfred
It's
came out and
such a
said,
simple fix.
yeah, just wear the jerseys. Like, I understand you're going to sell them and they are going to make money, but it's not worth it, dude. They stink out loud. We're gonna look back in a couple of years and be just think, what were they doing? Those are
Yeah.
awful. The
And you
only
want to
ones I
talk
kind
about,
of liked were the Colorado ones.
yes,
And
those were kind of fire.
kind of, but again, they were wearing all blue pants and stuff. Still Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
kind of
But
uniforms.
again, you want to talk about the lights being too bright. Bryson, we were talking, we were texting our group chat, and Bryson said that the Orioles before the home run derby, that they're facing the Phillies or a week before, whatever it was, and Gunnar Henderson was practicing the format, like he was practicing the home run derby, and he hit 19 out, like in that type of format. And Bryson's like, oh, I expect like Gunner's gonna probably rake here. He hit 11. He
Yeah.
was ass.
Well,
I
we
mean,
remember the Vladdy video of him practicing too, right? Like that's just
yes.
it is something they do. That's not a chirpable offense.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
for sure.
but absolutely. Yeah, it's
Lights
tough
got
to
too bright.
lights did get
Well,
definitely
we're
too
not. I
bright.
can't believe we haven't brought this up yet. The anthem singer.
Oh my God. You can you can drive drunk and they'll put you in the home run derby and you can be wasted and they'll let you sing the anthem.
That's such a good point. But am I crazy to say I sound like, or people sound better, sound better singing when they're drunk?
No, no, I think everyone around you is also fucked up. That's why you think they sound better. But if you're kind of sober and you're listening to other people, it's like when you go through the videos on your phone at a concert or something and you're singing in the background and
Oh, I hate those.
yeah, and you think, "Oh, I really wish I shut up during that whole time." It's kind of this, I
Yes.
think it's the same thing.
Okay, that's a
I think
good
you're just
point.
in a bad spot and everyone else being sober around for millions to watch and judge you.
Yeah.
Worst spot in the world to be in.
Yeah,
You think it was
dude,
PR?
I don't think it was PR. I mean, she had to be blitzed. Like, there is no way you're a quote unquote Grammy award winning artist and you were that mangled and that bad. Like, I hope she gets the help she needs, obviously. I mean,
Yes.
being alcoholic it's a sickness and it's not great. It's like it's very bad. But holy fuck, Avery. I mean, I couldn't believe I made a video right after it and it had like 900 1,000 likes and just the entire comment. It was the most positive tweet I've ever had. The entire comment section was, yeah, man, like that was insane. Like that was terrible. No one was chirping me. It was like we all formed one enemy and it was that girl. I don't even know what her name is, but my God, that video of Laddie is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Where it just like pans to him and he's just like standing there like the what's it called, the Draymond Green one. It was the worst anthem I've ever heard.
Yeah. No, nothing. I can't say nice things about it. It was fun. It was funny to hear. It was very funny
It
to
was
hear.
very funny, but I guess we could talk a little bit about the All-Star game. I watched it kind of on in the background. I wouldn't say I was locked in on the All-Star game, but pretty good game. Otani sent a ball to hell. I mean, Jesus Christ. I hate to say this, Avery. This will probably get clipped by Devers Enjoyer. Jaron Duran rocks.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
he rocks. And I'm slowly I like Tristan Cassis. I like Rafael Devers. I like Rafaela. I might just be a Red Sox fan. They all rock. Like Tristan
You
Cassis,
want to
sorry.
say Casas so bad
Yeah,
every
Casas.
time.
But no, Tanner Ho kind of struggled a little bit, but Jaron Duran, his swing is I might have a left swing kink because every
No,
lefty we talk
I
about,
think a lot of people have that. Like that's why
he
Ken Griffey Jr. they love so much.
oh man, I just that Jared Duran home run was so cool.
He does have a cool swing. He had all the tools coming up too. I
Yeah.
think he was a second baseman when he was
Yeah,
coming
they
up.
moved him to the outfield. That's why he was bad in the outfield
Yeah,
last year.
and then it's the start of the Jaron Duran Hall of Fame DVD, the Tapia Grand Slam inside the park where he can't see it. And then after that, it's taken a little bit, but things have gone a lot better for Jaron Duran. Cool player. Seems like a good guy too. So a deserving MVP for if Paul Skeens, I just think is gonna win the Cy Young Award. But by the way,
Oh, you want to know what his odds are? Take a guess.
is he the favorite now?
He's plus 400. Avery gave it on our show, Lines at Lunch we do every day at 12. He gave it a plus 5,000, just so people understand.
No, it was 50,000, I thought.
No, it was 5,000 because I looked at it too when you did it. So just so everyone understands, the odds that Avery get it at, you put $10, you win 500. Now you put $10, you win 40.
It was he has the hype, man. They want to make him the Cy Young Award winner as well. And he leads all of baseball in a ton of categories since he's been up there. His fastball's insane. People wanted to dog his fastball shape, which I thought was funny. I enjoyed when they dogged his fastball shape. I wasn't on one side or the other of it, but I just like, okay, the guy who throws 102, he's got bad shape.
Yeah, those are the same Twitter GMs that were criticizing the draft the day after it happened. So,
yeah, we can do a little draft talk too. The draft is finished up. The Jays, everyone hated their day 2 picks because they drafted a lot of college guys. And that's the thing about the draft. It's so stupid the way they do it because you have a bonus pool and you need to fit all the players into the bonus pool. So sometimes you intentionally, and it's the worst part of it, you have to draft bad players in higher rounds. So you have money in other places to sign people. They took Messina, a kid who was committed to South Carolina. His brother went in the 3rd round. He was probably a top 3 talent arm. Took him in the 12th round, and he's going to sign, it seems like. And
really?
the guy yeah, he said he went on South Carolina TV and said he was going to sign
with the Jays.
Yeah. So, like, I know that he's a 12th round pick. He's not a 12th round pick talent wise. He's a guy who's up to 99, breaking like great wipeout slider, Messina. And then there's a guy that Ben Nicholson Smith said they were linked to who's committed to Auburn. Terrell maybe was his name.
Yeah, Terrell.
Okay, that's my fault if it's wrong. I'll wear that one. But I don't think they're going to sign both of them. It would be awesome if you can fit them both in the bonus. They took him in the 19th round or 18th. I think that was another guy they were linked to possibly in like the 1st or 2nd round. So the MLB draft is weird the ways you have to do that. They took a reliever from Southeastern, which is an NAIA school, in the 16th round, who throws 101, got up to 101. He was a 2-way guy before, and now he just pitches and he's up to 101. So you gotta wait a long time to see what the draft is like. But if they can fit that guy who's committed to Auburn and Messina in there as well, and then Savage gets signed for whatever, it seems like a pretty good draft.
Oh, let's break the news. The Savage, he followed us and DM'd us.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's messaged back though.
I don't care.
Yeah, he did say.
Looks like we gotta hop on a pod.
We do need to hop on a pod.
Yeah, I gave him a little double message because I said today, like, I messaged him. I was like, "Are you good, like today or tomorrow?" But I'm sure he is probably just.
And the also thing is, we need to make sure he signs. Like, he's not going to do it if he's not going to sign.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see what he says. My introduction to him, and I'm going to tell the same on a podcast, is we were doing a challenge at work for the gambling show that we do, and East Carolina was facing North Carolina, and East Carolina's starter went down. This was last year, so his sophomore year. And the play of the day, we were trying to make enough money to go to Vegas for March Madness, and it was our biggest play. And my pick was East Carolina to beat North Carolina. And Savage steps in as the starter that day and shoved against North Carolina. So I'm a Savage fan.
Yeah, and like, I just want to say thank you to the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that commented "Go on Gate 14." We had some haters.
People thought we bought.
Let me make this as clear as humanly possible. If you think we would spend actual real Canadian currency to buy bots and comment under Trey Savage's profile to go on Gate 14, you are the most delusional, brain-dead moron ever. That is just Gate 14 Nation, brother. That's the power of Gate 14. We've been talking about this for weeks to get the 1st round pick on the podcast, and you guys made it possible. We're the people's podcast. You guys did this. This was all you guys. So thank you to everyone that commented under it. He followed us. He DM'd us. It will happen if he signs. I mean, we don't want to get just a random guy on the show.
No, he's not. He won't come on if he doesn't sign. I can almost guarantee that's where he's coming from.
So, yeah, thank you guys for making that happen. And if you said bot, you're a fucking moron. So
Can
That's
you
just where
even make bots do that?
I don't know how to do that. Why would we do that? Like, I think we could say we have enough followers that they would like that they will all comment on someone's shit. Like now, Avery, we have the power of everything. We could get anyone on the pod now.
Yeah,
Like,
if they're on their socials, that it'll get flooded.
exactly. No, exactly. Like we've kind of already had the white whale, and we've met Bo and we've met Vladdy. We've talked to them on personal levels, obviously without a microphone in front of us. But like the Jays, if they trade for a guy, or if they like a year down the road or whatever, they sign a guy in the offseason and they're on their socials, we could easily get them on the pod.
Yeah.
Like, so thank you to everyone, man. I love you guys, man. It's like I said, it's changed my life, this podcast. So it's crazy. Sometimes I'll just pinch myself, or I'll look back on the Trey Savage Instagram and just see literally 200 comments saying go on gate 14. So it's just incredible stuff. So we'll never take that for granted. We love you guys, man. And it's truly insane stuff. And speaking of some gate 14 housekeeping, this time next week we'll be at full uniform game.
Oh,
I know.
I
so
so
looking
don't.
forward to it.
I do not want to fucking do that at all, man. God damn it. But that's why we do it. You guys help us out. We'll give you stuff to watch.
Yeah.
And oh God, I hate that so much, man.
It sucks, but
yeah,
it's the harsh reality of it.
It's why we do it.
It's never not funny. It's never not funny. The visuals, all of it. So we will see you guys next week at 5:30 will be the section for gate 14 full uniform night.
Have we bought tickets for it yet?
I'll buy it tomorrow when we go to work. I'll buy it on the company card. I have to buy 4. So I have to buy some
for like you said, to open the show, we got Ryan Burr is the last part of this podcast. And
yes,
I'll say I didn't know anything about it. Obviously, pitched for the Jays, knew that. We knew nothing really about him. You got some stuff from Luplo, but really awesome interview. Thoughtful guy. I'm hoping for the best for him because he seems like a fucking beauty, man.
Oh, he is. He seems like just a common man that happens to throw 95, 96.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the best. It's the best. Well, before we go into the series preview, let's do some analytics. I bet. I'm running out of tweets here. I'll be honest.
I know. I was about to say I can't believe he has so many.
All right. You'll do your deep dives and your analytics, and boy, do they do a horseshit job of telling you guys what to do. Hashtag analytics.
It sounds like Ken Reed.
That's a Ken Reed tweet.
Yeah. The swearing always throws me off, but that was a really, really funny one, actually.
Ross Atkins just got asked about Teoscar Hernandez's performance at the home run derby, and he replied with a click, 2 worms, a clickety clack, barba click, and a blackety blip receipt sound, like when you're shopping at Walmart. I think sophisticated pylons do.
I think I know who this is.
Who is it?
Does he live in Minnesota? This is Blue Jays dad.
No, this is Ari Shapiro.
Oh,
Ari Goat Pyro. The guy who got 70 views a YouTube video. What a tweet that is. Here's another one. The only way to change the Blue Jays is from the grassroots. If fans stop going to the ballpark and buying merchandise while enjoying this garbage, we might be in for some change. Until then, it's all yada, blada, blip, blop, Ross Atkins, blah, double talk the system, our people.
I think that just sounds like Ari Shapiro again.
Yeah, he was cooking this week. Like, he doesn't know I was being sarcastic. So under that tweet where he's like the Walmart thing, I just did the thumb, like the pointing up thing, and he liked it.
It's insane work, but someone's got to do it. So yep. I salute them.
Shout out Ari, the GOAT. But yeah, let's go into the series preview, man. I mean, listen,
who are they even playing?
Tigers.
Okay.
You don't even know who they're playing.
No clue. Had no clue.
Are we at home? Out of sight, out of mind. Avery Chenye.
Yeah, it's at the Rogers Center.
They actually haven't announced the starters, so I don't know who's starting.
I mean, Scooble pitched yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So
No, the Jays haven't announced starters.
Oh, the Tigers have?
No, like neither team.
Okay.
So we can't even do a series preview. Jays lose 2 of 3.
No, the Tigers kind of suck too, dude.
Yeah.
Jay sweep.
Oh my God, Avery. You're saying the Jays get back to that little 5 games below 500 mark?
Yeah. I want something to care for so bad, man.
Yeah, we all do, man. But I mean, they got
Now
the
that the
Rays right
draft's
after.
over, I don't really have much to look forward to.
So they got the Tigers for 3, Rays for 3, Rangers for 3. 3 really bad teams. Like,
Yeah,
come on, Bluebirds. Come on.
4 and 5
Let's
stretch
go.
guaranteed.
No. Let's go 6-3, and let's get to 5 games below still.
Yeah.
That's what 6-3 does. You're still
How
5 games.
how many full uniform games have they won?
None.
I thought the Red Sox won. They won.
No, they lost. Remember, because you took the picture. Now the uniform seems kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 0-2 in full uniform games. But yeah, that's all
No,
I have. I mean, by the way, I want to make this clear. I want to end this podcast with saying this. He's definitely not going to listen to this. He doesn't like listening because he says we talk every day, so it doesn't make sense and listen. Happy birthday, Alto, man. Honestly, one of my best friends. The best to ever do it. Lets me sleep on his couch every weekend. Doesn't really complain. Doesn't say anything. Alto is the fucking man. I love you, bro, and thank you for everything. And we'll be celebrating you Saturday.
Yep.
I am so fired up for that. We're gonna have a couple of Jays special guests appearing, which will be fun. And obviously, happy birthday to my mother. July 23rd is her birthday. So actually, no. You know what? Fuck it. I wish my mom happy birthday on Sunday.
Happy birthday to my brother too. July 19th. That's Alto's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your brother's born the same day as Alto?
Yeah, Ev. Yep.
Wow. All right. Happy birthday, Evan.
Yeah,
Listen,
happy birthday, Alf.
Happy birthday, Alf, man. Love you, brother. And we will celebrate you Friday. I was gonna get Alto he's like I said, he's not listening to this. I was gonna get him a Blue Jays vintage hat, but it looked like it fit like a toddler. So I was like, you know what? I probably won't spend $100 on this for a vintage hat. But yeah. Love you, Alto, and make sure you guys on Twitter wish Alto happy birthday because it's the boy's birthday and Evan.
Yep.
We will see you guys on Sunday. Listen, no baseball tonight. If you're listening to this on Thursday,
We booked our Chicago hotels as well.
Oh, yeah, we did, and it's not in the ghetto. It's not in the ghetto. There's no blood on the floor. I'm assuming. I don't know. And it should be fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Chicago will have 2 basement dwellers going toe to toe. 2 idiots fighting meme.
Yep.
So that should be fun. But love you guys, man. Gate 14 forever. The t-shirts, if you're listening to this, the t-shirts have been shipped. So we just paid for it like yesterday, I believe. Paid for the full thing. So stay tuned for that. And keep rocking the Gate 14 merch. We'll see you Sunday night. Love you guys. Gate 14 forever.
Enjoy Ryan Burr.
All right. Welcome back. We are now joined by a man who I have named my Twitter name after. It is the man with a 2.45 ERA. It is Big Burr, Ryan Burr. It is a pleasure to have you on the Gate 14 podcast, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's good to get to know you guys and start my Blues Jays fandom, I guess.
I love that. Listen, the reason why I wanted you on, because I'll give you the backstory. So I'm, as many of the podcast people know, I'm really good buddies with Jordan Luplow, right? One of my best friends. And I like, before you actually got traded, or when you got traded, no one knew about it. He texted me, the Jays just got a dog. You are going to love this guy. You have to get this guy on the podcast. He's a beauty. And I was like, who the fuck is, like, who is he? Never told me the name. Then he told me the name and I was like, okay, like Ryan Burr. We can make some fun nicknames for Gate 14 out of that. And I was like, let's get him on. So Luplo handed me your number and we got you on the pod. So I wanted to start it with that, our common ground, our little mutual friend here. Yeah. What was it like playing with the Loop Show? The man.
Oh my gosh. Loop is a beaut, dude. He's the best. I actually got the pleasure of working out with him in the off season down here in Arizona. So I got to see, kind of off season Loop and also in season Loop. But no, we had a blast in the off season together, man, just hanging out. We go to Waste Management every year. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Yeah, no, that's
here.
an awful time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys don't have any fun there.
Never go there. Never have any fun. Never get in any trouble. But no, Luplo is one of my guys. And then, being able to play with him this year kind of worked out. 2 guys, that have kind of been around the game a little bit and, are looking to kind of stick with the team. So, him and I were kind of in the same boat, but, just a great guy, great teammate to have, especially in AAA, somebody that's been there before, has feel, one of the guys that everybody looks up to and loves to hang out with. So Loop's my dog forever, man. I love that guy.
So we're at the All-Star break. Congrats on making it here. You're
Thank
finally
you.
you have some time to look back. What's this season kind of been like for you? I mean, obviously the trade and all that, but some
Yeah,
success.
it's been good, man. It's been really good. It's been a few years of really grinding, with injuries and bouncing around different teams. Um, so to be able to like come out and just kind of have success and feel healthy and feel like I'm able to be myself a little bit and like show the best version of myself has been paramount for me this year. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing when you look at my career is just if I'm healthy, I'm usually throwing the ball pretty well. So for me, it's just I got to do everything I can to stay on the field.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking about Arizona, let's talk about the school you went to. This is a school I idolized growing up because I've heard tons of stories about the party scene there, all that type of stuff. I've met Hunter Bishop and I had him on my other show, and he talks about how unreal it was. What was it
Yeah.
like going to Arizona State, my man? I mean, we're talking. I know you're wifed up now, but we're talking rocket ships everywhere you look. It's just it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. You got to pinch yourself, and especially being an athlete, certain doors get opened up that maybe don't get opened up if you're not an athlete. If you catch my drift, but no, man, I had the best 3 years of my life at ASU, and I would give a lot back to go back for just a semester or so, just to be around that atmosphere again. Be at that age where you're just living the best life, man. Like you look back and you think, during that time, I'm worried about the draft and this or that, but now being grown up, that was the time of my life. I met my wife. She went to ASU also, so we're a family full of Sun Devils. But no, man, it was the best. And then you throw baseball on top of that, being at a storied program like that, just kind of the cherry on top. But yeah, it was everything I ever could have asked for. And, I always wonder what it would have been like going to other places. But on the other hand, like I wouldn't have changed a second there
Well,
at all.
what were some of the other options for you?
U of A was up there, Arizona, a couple other West Coast schools, Arkansas, Ole Miss,
Jesus Christ.
some of the SEC schools.
What do you think
I really
of
wanted to go. I really wanted to go to LSU and follow in Gosman's footsteps. Him being a Colorado guy, but it didn't work out. And like I said, it was the best thing that I ever could have done, and I wouldn't want to change it for anything.
What do you think of the Pac-12 realignment? Are you a college football guy too? Obviously, it's for baseball.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm a college football guy. But it's good for college football. I think the other sports are going to get crushed a little bit with the scheduling, like flying back and forth across the country, at the college level is one thing, doing it as a pro is another thing, when you actually have to go to classes and, you're taking tests and, you're not really being paid, you're kind of being paid, there's just so many different nuances, but we'll see, man. It's sad to see the Pac-12 be gone, but I can't imagine, looking towards the future that there's not another type of realignment, and you got to think that the Pac-12 would come back in some type of capacity.
Yeah, and going back to Arizona State, I mean, humble brag here. Avery just brought me this stat. There is no chance I did the research for this one. You led Arizona State in saves before you left, correct? Is that correct? You were the all-time saves leader? You're like the little Mariano Rivera.
I wouldn't put myself in any conversation with Mo, but yeah, no, that was something that I was really proud of. A cool record to break there. Being in the bullpen in college, you kind of get abused, and if you throw well, you're bound to break a few records. But no, man, it's something that I hold on to near and dear to me. I really enjoy being an alum. Try to get back as much as I can. It's tough with our schedules, but like I said, being a Sun Devil, means a lot to me, and it will for a long time.
I saw a stat line scouting. Is it true you had one at bat while you're at school there?
I did.
It said you have a walk.
So
how'd you work that out?
Yeah. So our second baseman was low key like our setup guy. So anytime he would come in, like before the eighth inning or something, and I would come in for a multi-inning save, there was always opportunity for me to possibly sneak my way in there, and that's exactly how it turned out one game. I think it was a tie game, and we burned him, and I had to go up to that bat, and I remember the first pitch, I just took an absolute G hack, and I think I fouled it off, fouled it right back, and our head coach Tracy Smith, calls time from the third base box and walks down there. He's like, dude, do not swing the fucking bat ever again. Just stand there, right? You're gonna get hurt. This is the last thing we need. Just stand there, strike out, whatever. So I was like, all right, whatever, And I think the pitcher got a little intimidated after I took that G hack, and he ended up walking me, man. But yeah, I got down to first base, and I think being on first base was a little bit scarier than being in the box, to be honest.
Yeah,
Felt like I was going to get picked off just standing there.
I mean, your boy, he's also been on the show as well. Humble brag a little. Kevin Gossman can swing it. Kevin Gossman can swing that shit. Do the pitchers sometimes take BP? Have you ever seen Gossman swing it this year?
No, not at this level. I mean, maybe they have in the past, but at this level, you get people so worried about tweaking an oblique or whatever may happen. But yeah, I remember in high school, dude, he could do it all. He was the guy. He was the guy in Colorado that everybody looked up to. He had another guy on their team, Greg Bird, who made it up to the big leagues. He was a big Yankees prospect for a while. So yeah, they were stacked when it comes to Colorado high school baseball. They went to Grandview High School.
Okay, that was 4 hours away because I went to school in McCook, Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm a Fall American. It was really
right
good in
on.
the fall. Hit 175 during the season, but yeah, that was near. We used to always go to Colorado, and we used to have Colorado kids that played for our team that would tell stories about Greg Bird in high school. So that does sound really familiar. But yeah, shout out Greg Bird. The guy's an absolute legend. But
he's a homie, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, and being from Colorado, what was the talent pool of baseball there? I mean, a lot of guys went to my JUCO. I wouldn't say they were the greatest baseball players on the planet, but I mean they were from Colorado. But what was the talent pool like for you there?
Yeah, I mean when I was in high school, it was pretty slim pickings. I mean, you'd think looking back, maybe there was 5 or 6 guys in my senior class, throughout the state that went Division I. A couple of them got drafted. You look at it now though, it's crazy, the talent that comes out of not just Colorado, plenty of these other cold weather states. It's through the roof now. But in terms of big leaguers, yeah, I mean you got Kevin, the Rogers twins on the Giants, Colorado guys, Steven Wilson, bullpen guy with the White Sox, Griffin Jacks. So we're representing. There's not many of us, but I think there's more and more, and there's going to continue to be more and more coming up.
Did you have to play for a national team in travel ball while you were there? Because getting all those huge offers out of Colorado, seemed like it was a tough thing.
It's definitely tough, and that's something that back then that was kind of the route. I went and played summer ball actually in Cincinnati, Ohio, of all places, during high school. So yeah, it was a full-time gig, man. And the crazy thing is I being in Colorado, you don't really know what the college recruiting process is like. You hear stories of so-and-so is going to this place or that place, but there's not as many people that have gone through it. So it's not as common to, understand, the ins and outs of what's actually going on. So I remember I went to a tournament my freshman year down in Florida with a little bit of an older team. And, I had no idea that, playing college baseball was even on my radar at that point. And, I think I ended up throwing pretty well. And I think it was the Florida Atlantic coach came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, great stuff today. We'd love to get a commit from you." And I was like 15 years old at this point, down at this tournament down in Florida by myself, no parents. And I'm just like, fuck, hell yeah, dude, sign me up. Let's go. Are you kidding me? That sounds great. Didn't even call my parents or anything. Get back to the hotel, and I was like, all right, well, I should probably call my parents, whatever. Call my parents.
Committed.
Like, you did what? Yeah. They're like, what?
I think FAU might hate you now, man. They might fucking hate you.
No, but I mean, I think we ended up calling him back. I called him back, had my parents talk to him too, and they understood, where we were coming from, and we were obviously excited to just have one offer at that point. But being 15 years old and from Colorado, you're just so gullible when it comes to process. You're like, sign me up, man. Baseball in Florida, Get me
I
out
love
of
the
here.
verbal commitment. Just no offer, no like
No.
percentage of the tuition, none of that stuff. Just verbally committed. But
No.
I always talk about this with guys. Like when you obviously you were a big dog, you had offers from SEC schools, all that type of stuff. Did you take advantage of the visits? Because I want to make this very clear. I would have taken advantage of every single offer I got. I would have went to that school to visit, to party, to get after it, just to kind of experience it. Did you take advantage of that?
That's my biggest regret, man. So the way it worked out with ASU, I was coming down here for a camp, and it was a little weekend camp, and I had a visit lined up the next weekend at U of A at Arizona, and they had actually offered me full ride, and I was one of their guys. They're writing me handwritten notes and this and that, and it was the coolest thing. I was like, this is what it should feel like. But in my heart, I knew that ASU was kind of the spot that I really wanted to go to. So I go down there for this camp, and everything's going great, this and that, having great conversations. And then at the end of the weekend, I think it was a Saturday night, they're like, hey man, so this is the offer, and it's on the table until Tuesday.
Well, that's the dumbest stuff they do.
And yeah, I mean, and again, being the Colorado kid and not really knowing, the true ins and outs of the process and what it's like, I didn't know any better. But I knew that was where, in my heart, deep down, that's where I wanted to be. Did I kind of get bullied into, accepting maybe a little bit less than I could have? Yes, for sure. I definitely could have played it out and, gone on different recruiting trips here and there, but that's just kind of the way it worked out. But it's such a different landscape these days with the portal and the NIL money and all the stuff that comes along with that. It's hard to fathom, what it's like to be a college coach at the moment, and just the amount of stuff you got to put up with. I always think about, when I'm done playing, what it'd be like to maybe go back and get into that. And I just, in the current landscape, I don't know if I want to touch that thing with the 10-foot pole,
Yeah, you can always get into podcasting.
I don't know about that, man. I hate like going back and hearing the sound of my voice and, like seeing myself talk. I got to get over that stage first.
Blue Jays Nation loves you, and I will say this: I am the spearhead of that. My name on Twitter is Johnny Burr.
I appreciate that, man.
Every time
I try to stay off Twitter as much as I can, because you know how that place can be.
I know, I get it pretty bad, but yeah, the Twitter name is Johnny Burr. Every time you pitch,
that's
I
love,
throw
man.
up
I appreciate it.
the mug shot of you in the Blue Jays hat. People love it. It does.
Oh my god, yeah. My picture that's been photoshopped, like 15 different times at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, dude. I gotta like pull somebody in tomorrow or when I get there on Friday and be like, look, we gotta just get myself a headshot here. Like, can we just stop with the Photoshop shit?
You're professional. You need the headshots done.
I'll tell you what, man, that headshot is tough because honestly, man, it looks nothing like you. Like it looks like
it looks like I'm wearing a do-rag under it.
It's a funny one.
So you get traded.
It is what it is, dude.
Yeah, you get traded to the Jays right now, and your college teammate Brian Servin is there. Is that nice to have someone that you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you know anyone else kind of when you came over? Like you knew Gauze, I guess. But
yeah, Gauze a little bit. Just guys that you brush shoulders with, here and there, playing against them throughout your career. But to have a couple guys that actually like knew on the team made the transition so much easier, dude. It's hard to be the new guy, at any level, especially the big league level. Because everybody's just so, ingrained in the routines and, their process and kind of the way they handle things. You don't want to get in anybody's way. But to have a few guys that were there, able to talk to and kind of, like I said, ease that transition a little bit, it definitely made things easier for sure.
Is the major league bullpen the first day you've been there like the most awkward place in the world? You like who do you talk to first? Is it just natural selection at that point?
It honestly is. You kind of find the most kind or happy looking guy and just try and make small talk and hope he's not a dick and just kind of go from there. And just I think one of the easiest ways to break the ice is just talking about guys that other guys have played with, mutual friends, mutual teammates, stuff like that. That's usually the best way to go about breaking the ice.
I mean, that's how Johnny started this podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So and that's you guys see it, like the baseball world is tiny. Like you play this game for more than 4 or 5 years. The guys that are sticking around, you've either faced them a few times or you played with them at some point. That's just how it is, and it's cool. It's really a cool facet of this thing that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Who was the friendly face you approached?
I think the first guy I talked to was Bowden. Actually, Bowden Francis came up and introduced himself.
Guy. That's our guy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's the GOAT. Just super laid back, super chill. Really nice guy. I love hanging out with him. I actually got to work out with him over the All-Star break here down in Phoenix. So he's a man. So I had him, and then briefly just kind of met everybody, and then next thing you know, the fucking game's starting, and my first game there was a 14 inning, shit show, in the first game of the City Connect. So it was a long day for me, traveling from wherever I traveled from, and being the new guy, and then going into 14 innings and warming up a couple times. I was just like, by the end of the night, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this every day, dude. This shit is exhausting.
I was at that game, man. Our boy, Davis Schneider, OG Gate 14,
Nice,
got a little walk-off bomb. Who's some guys you've slowly started to make friends with? Because, like I mentioned before the show, obviously Ernie and Davis are really good friends of ours.
Yeah.
I've seen them Saturday. Who else?
Ernie, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Ernie's my dog, for sure. I mean, in the short time I've been around the team, he's been one of the best guys to talk to, just super kind and easygoing. Always, goes out of his way to say hi to you and check in on you. And I think, where were we? San Francisco. We came up with a little handshake, and he went back-to-back nights hitting 3-run tanks. So I took a little credit for that. But no, hanging out with Ernie's great. Horwitz, all the younger guys are really nice, and it's fun to kind of be going through this experience with them. Kind of being not a rookie, but in a sense, a rookie-ish kind of guy that's still trying to make his way in the big leagues. And I still feel like I can kind of help some of the younger guys in certain ways, but I'm also there to support them, and also learning what they bring to the table and how I can kind of learn from them. So it's a cool dynamic. And then you look at the rest of the room and some of the veterans in there, and it's kind of pinch me moments still. It's looking at obviously Goss and Bass and Barrios, and you look at third base, you either got JT or Vlad over there, and you got Bo short. Like it's really fucking cool, man. It's a really cool clubhouse to be a part of, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity to be a part of it. It definitely means a lot to me.
All right, want to go into some pitching stuff this season. Pitch selection, what you're throwing as a reliever, someone who's never really done this before. How does it feel? What was the change like for you? Just go slider heavy instead of fastball. Just totally kind of swapping when you're throwing fastball heavy compared to slider heavy now.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that started with Philly in spring training. It was something that they kind of brought to my attention. They're like, hey, look, your slider's your best pitch. It would make sense if you throw your best pitch more than you don't. Not to say that the fastball is not a good pitch, but the slider just plays really well to both sides of the plate. So that was kind of where it started. And yeah, I think it showed in the first couple months of implementing it. I think I was somewhere around 60-40 split with slider fastball usage. And my strikeouts were through the roof. So yeah, it's something that I'm leaning on heavily. I don't know if you've watched any of the recent outings, but that's kind of the pitch that's what I go to. It's kind of the get ahead pitch, but also I can use it as a put away. So it's something that when it's going right, it's great, and I feel confident that I can throw in any count. But even when it's not great, I still feel like it's good enough to get outs over the plate. So
has that totally swapped in your mind too? Like it's your go-to pitch whenever we're here. It's just now it's slider. Like you've pitched your whole life, right?
100%.
Always fastball. Now it's slider. It's such an interesting change.
Now I'm in my head. When I get to 1-2 count, 2-2 count, it's literally spin it to win it. That's my last thought before I throw the balls. Spin it to win it. Trust it. Yeah. Had success. Hoping that I keep getting it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not one to pump tires here. I guess I am, but I mean, you've been an absolute dog like your entire minor league career. Little 2.45 ERA, minor league career, 2.45 ERA right now this year. What is like for you? What is like the biggest thing you need for yourself to be successful? Like, do you need to have like a consistent role where you know, like, all right, if it's middle relief inning, I'm going to be there, setup, whatever it is? Because right now with the Jays, they've been throwing you in kind of just random ass situations. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you faced the top of the order on Saturday, by the way. You fucking shoved against them. I believe you faced 2, 3, 4, and you went 1, 2, 3 with 2 punchies. Is that good? You tell me. But what other, like, where do you see yourself? Like, what role do you prefer, like, the best?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to sit here and say, yeah, the leverage roles are where you want to be. But you know, those spots are earned. In my brief career in the big leagues with the White Sox, even, you know, I was kind of in the same position, being a jack of all trades, you know, throwing every inning from opening games to, you know, throwing tie game, you know, in the 10th. But for me personally, like, yeah, I would love to be able to put myself in, you know, the conversation to throw those leverage innings. I feel like having a role can alleviate some stress in the bullpen. You know exactly when you're going to throw, you know exactly what to look for and to be ready for. But on the other edge of that, you know, not knowing when you're going to throw and keeping you on your toes is also, you know, it's not a bad way to live. You know, you don't get stuck there, you know, during the game thinking, well, this has got to happen and that's got to happen for me to pitch, or this, you know, you just kind of, you're just living in the moment. And I think the overarching theme for me when it comes to what it looks like for me to have success at the big league level, it's just the mindset and taking control of the emotions and, you know, the nerves and all of those things that come with throwing bullpen innings. It's a volatile job, and once you can kind of harness those feelings and emotions a little bit, you kind of slow the game down a little bit, and it just becomes a little bit easier to play the game within the game and think along with the catcher and really think about, you know, what pitch is going to execute, you know, a strikeout right here, what pitch is going to set up the strikeout the next pitch, you know, and you can actually slow the game down to a point where you can play those intricate games within the game. That's the place you want to be. So for me, it comes down to just fine tuning the mind, man. I've got a crazy mind. It wanders. It has doubts. You know, it kicks me in the ass. It tells me I suck. It tells me I'm great. It does all these different things. So it's about, you know, getting everything under control and just getting everything focused towards doing one thing, which is, you know, having a really good plan and just going out there and trying to execute it.
The mental things it's very tough, especially in the bullpen role. Something I've always wanted to ask, kind of guys like never really struggled, honestly, but how do you deal with not like defining your worth from outings and just like being able to live because I was a shitty college baseball player and I couldn't do it.
That's downplaying it.
Yeah, like I
Tell them your
sucked.
ERA.
I had a 7 Division 2 7 ERA. I stunk out loud. It's like
that's all right, man.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, better than some listening to this. I'll take
you, like that's like that question you just asked right there is a question that needs to be asked and talked about so much more, because that is the key. That is literally the key to this whole thing, is disassociating your self-worth with yourself as a baseball player, because that is just not a healthy way to go about this shit, because there's just so many different factors that are out of your control. Like I could throw the same four-seam fastball up and away at 95 miles an hour to the same hitter, and on one swing he could hit it fucking 400 feet. On the other swing he could swing right through it and swing and miss it. And if you're going to sit there and say, well, because this happened or that happened, I gave up that home run, now I suck, or something's wrong with me, like there's no possible way for you to have any type of success in this game. Like, and that's a lesson I'm still learning to deal with. I mean, I think a lot of guys at this level could learn, you know, how to handle that a lot better. I think it's kind of the unspoken thing in baseball is, you know, the mental struggles that come along with this game, and breaking through those mental struggles that, you know, that's what the superstars do. Those are the guys that can do it every single day. And that's why they are there every single day, is because they know, you know, they know that what they do on the field doesn't represent who they are off the field or, you know, anything like that. At the same token, you know, it doesn't take away the importance of what we do every single day. So, you know, I've had mental coaches, you know, on and off for the past 5 or 6 years, and I just try and pick and take things, you the work for me. And one of the things I heard was prepare like it's life or death and play like you're a kid. And I don't think there's a better way to look at it. Live and die in your preparation, have a plan. Like that's something that I'm still learning as a younger big league guy, is how to have a plan. And, like knowing a lineup through and through, and knowing, if I get this guy up, they're probably going to pinch hit for him. And that means I'm probably going to get a lefty here. And that's, one of three guys. And I got to know, okay, if it's this guy, I got to throw him this. If it's that guy, I got to throw him that. It's those kind of things. Right. So, I could go on for hours, but I think that the mentality part and, finding a way to have joy in this game, but also be extremely competitive is where you find the highest achievers. And that's where I'm trying to get to.
And we make this point tons of times on the podcast. It's like, for relievers, you can't really look at ERA. Like, they could be shoving, go 8 straight scoreless or 7 straight scoreless, one blow up inning, they're fucked. Like, that's the difference. What stat do you look at to judge like how well you are throwing?
I mean, for me, it's the strikes, right? So it's strikeouts, K to walk. Am I in the strike zone? Because that's where the action's at. That's where the swing and miss is going to happen. That's where the weak contact is going to happen. If I'm out of the zone, if I'm consistently throwing balls, I know I'm already at a disadvantage. When I really want to get into the nitty gritty, I'll start looking at splits. More like right versus left, stuff like that. Right now, I've been giving up a lot more hits to lefties, so that's something that over this All-Star break, going into the second half, that's something that I'm really focusing on and trying to put an emphasis on when it comes to throwing bullpens and thinking of different sequences and stuff like that. But
the two pitch sequence is tough though to lefties. Are you thinking like third pitch to change that, or
so? Yeah, we've been dabbling with a third pitch. I'm kind of in between two at the moment. I throw a little split finger that's just kind of and then I throw a one seam that's more of like a running two seam. It's not much of a sinker. It's more of just like a hard runner, I guess. So the thought is to have something going away from a lefty, which would kind of get him off the slider coming back in. And for me, the way my body works, the way I throw the ball, the way my hand, pronates, it's really hard for me to supinate. It's hard for me to pronate. So throwing changeups is not something that's easy for me. So I'd have to throw, what they call like a seam shifted changeup or, true split, but I have these freaking tiny hands. So holding the splitter kind of sucks, so we're brainstorming. It's something that I've been aware of. And, like I said, I've been putting an emphasis on, whether it comes from, pitch usage, changing that, maybe going a little bit more fastball heavy to lefties. That's something we're looking at too. So it's just a constant battle, man. It's every day. It's, you fix one thing and you move on to the next and try and get better at something else. So that's where we're at.
What is your routine? Like, are you ripping zins in the left field bullpen? Like, what are you doing? Because Logan Webb, when I had Logan Webb on my other show, he says before every start he rips 2 to 3 Red Bulls, not sugar free, like just straight Red Bulls for every appearance. What's in your routine? Like, what are you doing before every appearance?
Okay, well, Webby's a savage. First of all, I work out with him in the off season too, and that dude
he's a legend, bro.
A psycho. He's one of the best people in baseball. I love that kid.
So good.
But when it comes to my routine, I'm kind of the opposite way, right? I'm always kind of at the high level of heart rate and, anxious energy and nerves. So for me, when I feel my best, I need to feel cool and calm and collected. So I actually have, a group of guys on the team that we do breathing exercises before the game. That's kind of where my routine starts. That's kind of when I get locked in. So we do this like 10-minute long Wim Hof breathing exercise just to kind of set the intention for the night, get the body ready, get the mind ready. And then, from there it's, I have playlists I listen to. And then, just some stretches and some other random bullshit I do before I go out there. And then, once the game starts, there's lots of zins happening. Got to make sure you have some in the bullpen and in the locker room for after your outing, because there's nothing better than a post outing zin. So, but having a routine is at this level, it's necessary. I mean, the schedule, the travel, just everything that comes along with it. If you don't have a good routine that you can rely on, it's super easy to just kind of get, lost in everything that's going on around you. So
What's the
having a
playlist?
routine is important.
What's the playlist? What's on the playlist?
A lot of hardcore, like dirty rap, a lot of Future.
Yep.
Some Young Thug. I like some slapping bass. But there's also days where I might be feeling a little bit too amped up, and I'll I got to tone it down. So hit some Zach Bryan, some country, some slow jam, stuff like that. But
that's fair.
For the most part, there will be Future listened to before a game. For
what
sure.
What are you walking out to right now?
Oh yeah, what are you walking out to?
Right now we got. I didn't even know they picked the song for it as my song in college, but it's "God's Gonna Cut You Down" by Johnny Cash.
Classic.
So it's kind of a classic. When I heard it for the first time, when I pitched in the big leagues with the Blue Jays for the first time, it was actually pretty cool. I hadn't heard it, on the mound like that in that situation since I was in college. So it kind of, brought the fire back a little bit, brought back some memories.
You got to get out there to March Madness. I don't get the people going.
I don't want to burn down the Rogers Center, bro.
I don't get the people going, man. Who's in that little breath circle you guys got going on there? Little meditation. And let me guess, Bowden's 100%, right?
Bowden is definitely in it. And then we got Big Nate right now. Big Nate Pearson's in there too.
Okay.
So it's a good group. We're always trying to get more guys. It's like I said, it's kind of the part of the baseball life that not many guys are, I guess, open up to yet. But I really think, harnessing the power of what's going on in between the years is, why would you not want to be the best that you could be at that, especially at this level when you're looking for any possible way to get an edge. So I think it's great that we got guys that are buying in, and, we're always looking to add more guys to that group for sure.
I went back onto some of your pitch selection. Obviously, what pitch? You had a cutter, change-up, sinker that you've thrown in the big leagues. What pitch do you miss the most? Like, it might not have been good, but you just like throwing it, and it's just it's no more.
It's no doubt the 2019 cutter, I think, was the best pitch I ever had. It was the best graded pitch. I mean, I would literally just grab it out of my glove and grip it and rip it, and that thing would just freaking take off. I mean, granted, that was back in the good old days before they took away our fun stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody was doing it, right? But no, it was, that pitch was fun to throw, man. It'd get me out of so much trouble. I'd throw it 2-0, 2-1, just weak contact, ground balls. Just knew what I was going to get every time I throw, which is a good feeling to have.
And was there an arm action change for you too? Because I went and looked some Arizona State film, some White Sox stuff, and then because you look more now like you did at school. I think it looks a lot more similar than when you were with the White Sox.
So like I've said, man, it's a constant journey and battle of just tinkering and trying to figure out what's going to work best, what's going to put me in the best position, whether it's health or performance. And it's in years past, there's years that I've felt like I had to be shorter, and when I'm fully healthy, I feel like I can kind of get back into that long kind of sweeping arm action where I'm at now. But yeah, it's a daily thing, man. It's playing catch one day and feeling something good, or playing catch one day feeling something bad and saying, all right, what do we got to do to fix this?
So I always ask this because my dumb brain's fascinated by it. Do you know first pitch in your bullpen, you're like, all right, I fucking have it today? Like, is it
1,000%.
like, what pitch is it for you?
I mean, it's not even a pitch. It's playing catch before the game usually. Cause just feeling good, man. It makes it so much easier. Like when you're out there battling yourself, or, dealing with something that, might not on the outside seem like something that is tough to deal with when you're pitching. It's just a fucking annoyance, dude. It's hard. Throwing is such like a fine, line that you got to walk with your timing and your mechanics and everything to feel good. And if one thing's out of whack, you're just in trouble. So, feeling good, and you usually know that within the first 10 or 15 throws of the day. I usually base my shit off that. Like if I go into the game saying, all right, my catch play felt good, I know I'm in a good spot, then I'm ready to go.
How much does it suck?
I did, yeah, definitely.
How much does it suck when you got good pregame catch and then you don't get in?
That's definitely frustrating. But again, at this level, any extra day to recover, it means so much more. I mean, in the minor leagues, you get away with it because you get Mondays off, and when you're on the 40 man, they kind of build the schedule around you. So if you're feeling kind of they'll be like, all right, whatever. You just sort of like in the big leagues, it's like, no, there's 8 of you down there, and you got to be good to go. So feeling good is important, and taking control or taking advantage of the rest days and like really trying to recover is just as important for sure.
Yeah, and this is my last question. What was your first impression of Toronto? Obviously, you've been here a decent amount now. Like, you've stayed here. What was like your first impression? Have you got a chance to like walk around the city and kind of just see what it's like?
Definitely. So the first time I actually went to Toronto was, I think, back in 19. And I was like enthralled with this place. I was like, this is it. Like, this is like, it's like a cleaner Chicago, but it's also like New York. The food was fantastic. People were super nice. Everybody spoke English, obviously, which helps. But it was just like, it was nice, dude. I was just like, dude, this is like, people got to find out about this place. I feel like not many people know like how metropolitan and like new and luxurious and cool Toronto is. It's a happening spot, dude. Like, my wife came up to visit the first time I got called up, and we just walked up and down King Street, got drinks, got dinner.
That's my stomping grounds. That
Yeah,
I run that street.
All right, well, I'll hit you up for a reservation next time.
No, yeah, well, no, man, yeah, that's what everyone says.
Yeah, we love it, dude. Like, my wife loves coming out to visit. The city's great. The team does a fantastic job taking care of the players. We just got to start winning, man, and I think we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, you obviously, like, the bullpen's struggling. It's lost in a lot of categories in Major League Baseball, and it helps when you're given opportunity. Like, they're throwing you in big time spots now. I mean, they're slowly starting to trust you, and your stats this year in the minors prove that they could fucking trust you and start throwing you. So are you going into more games now, like, at least with a little bit of the mindset, like, they're probably going to have me in a leverage spot, or there's going to be like a pretty good spot here?
I mean, I feel like you get in trouble when you start anticipating stuff like that and like putting yourself in a box saying, oh, now I'm a leverage guy. I should only be throwing leverage innings. Like, what happens the first time you go out there and you got to throw when you're down 7, right? You're going to kind of have a brain fart, and you're going to be like, well, I shouldn't be out here for this. I should be a leverage guy. Like, that's not the place I want to be. I want to be in a place where I'm showing up every day, and, I'm in a good place mentally, physically. And when the phone rings and they say my name, like, I'm ready to go. Shouldn't matter to me, whether it's the 8th inning, 9th inning, 4th inning, 10th inning, the score shouldn't matter. I should be focused on, like I said, focus on the plan and going out there and executing it. And when I look at it like that, it takes care of everything else. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's how I'm going to live it, day by day. Try not to look too far in the future. And, I think the biggest thing too, man, is just enjoying this experience and opportunity again, because there's a lot of time in my career where I was on the outside looking in, kind of hoping to be back, where I am right now. So I really want to enjoy it and make the most of it and help the team. So, yeah.
Last one from me here. What do you do off the field? What are the things you like besides playing baseball? What's Ryan Burr doing off the field?
I'm a pretty normal dude, man. Like, we got a dog. I love hanging out with my dog, so I'm usually, out walking the dog. We live on a canal, so I have a bike. I like to bike, especially in the off season. There's a bar down the canal I like to go bike to and have a little, midday beer while my wife's at work. But no, dude, I'm pretty normal, just hanging out with friends, family, going out to dinner, going out to concerts, all that kind of stuff. Just one of the dudes.
I love that, man. We love that. But anyways, listen, you're as advertised. Luplo wasn't lying. We asked Ernie about you too. And yeah, he's the man. So listen,
I appreciate it.
They say never meet your heroes, but we're fired up here. Johnny Burr is going to be coming out in full effect this weekend. I'll be buzzing. But thank you for doing this, man. Obviously,
yeah, absolutely.
We love you. I mean, you've been shoving past couple appearances, so we're all in on that. So keep doing your thing, man. Just know just know the Gate 14 listeners now, they're going to be seeing you at the park starting chanting shit at you. I will just warn you right now. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, thank you so much for hopping on this. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in person too, hopefully next few weeks or so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.